Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram, moviepilot.com, or YouTube itself. What up, world? Man, so just like my 10 favorite TV series, this is another video that I've wanted to do for like over a year. And my only holdup was I wanted to revisit Martin. And I literally just 2 or 3 days ago just finished the season finale, the series finale of Martin. So I am prepared because after doing the calculations, I've only seen 11 sitcoms in their entirety. And it might throw a little resentment into my marriage, man, but Roseanne is the show that I've seen all the way through that just didn't make the cut. Because that last season was, it didn't fit the tone of the rest of the show. And now that they're gonna come back and do like a Will and Grace and revive the show like Full House, they're gonna revive the show. It kind of negates the way the entire show ended. I wanna name drop a couple. I wanna name drop a handful of shows that I've seen bits and pieces of that I haven't seen all the way through. So my toe is in the water, but they just don't qualify. And that's King of Queens, George Lopez, the first George Lopez from like the early 2000s. Married with Children, Coach, Home Improvement, New Girl, the Wayans Brothers. I'm sure if I revisit the Wayans Brothers, I've probably seen a good 80% of it. And the Wayans Brothers is hilarious. And like Sean Wayans said in Scary Movie, man, the Wayans Brothers was a good ass show. It was a good show, man. It was a good ass show, and we didn't even get a final episode. And then the Jamie Foxx show. See, the Jamie Foxx show and the Wayans Brothers started getting DVD releases the same time Fresh Prince did, and then Warner Brothers or whoever distributed just never kept up with them. So now, like, I think season 2 of the Wayans is out, manufactured on demand, MOD, and then Jamie Foxx season 2 and 3 are MOD. Let's get into the other 10 shows that do make the list. And I mean, like I said, the sample size is small, so not everybody's gonna be happy with all my choices, but they're literally all I had to choose from. And at number 10, I got Two and a Half Men. And it's number 10 because of the Ashton Kutcher seasons. I find the Ashton Kutcher seasons watchable, still funny in parts, but nowhere near the gems. The Charlie Sheen seasons, Two and a Half Men season 1 through 7 are all borderline gold. Like, the dialogue is witty, the jokes are funny, the humor, the gags, it's all good. And they weren't scared. Like, they pushed the envelope with the dialogue and the content, and they weren't scared about offending society. That's what I miss about TV overall, man. Having a sense of humor about touchy subjects. At number 9, I got Cheers. And again, Cheers is this low basically because of a casting change. I love Cheers all the way through, but I would have much rather had 11 seasons of Shelley Long than 6 of her and 5 of Kirstie Alley, or 11 of Kirstie Alley. I don't know. I think Shelley Long left to pursue like bigger movie opportunities, and like Ted Danson plays an alcoholic Boston Red Sox pitcher, and once he got sober, he decides to buy a bar. I mean, he never drinks. Like, for the majority of the show, he never drinks. There might have been an episode or two where he drank to like overcome a dilemma, and I don't know, just like I think every show that I'm gonna list has amazing supporting characters, and and Cheers is a prime example. Ted Danson is the star; he's the face of the show. But then you got Coach. I don't remember his name off top. He passed away, and that's what brought on Woody Harrelson, who's also gold. Rhea Perlman is hilarious. Norm and Cliff are hilarious, man. John Ratzenberger and George Wendt. And then the guest stars come in and out, man. Boston athletes would show up. There would be the annual episodes where they would war with another bar. Like Cheers is severely underrated the more the time goes on. And it paved the way. Like, people give Seinfeld credit, but I think Cheers paved the way for having a show where characters just sit around and chop it up, and their interactions are the episode. Whatever the situation is becomes that episode. I mean, the ball rolled on to Seinfeld, to Frasier, to Friends, to How I Met Your Mother, to Big Bang Theory. Um, yeah, like I love Cheers, man. Cheers is amazing. At number 8, I got Everybody Loves Raymond. Once again, hilarious. It's another one of those shows, man. Don't sleep. Just you might have like a stereotype, like, oh, it's an old white family and all they do is sit around and complain. No, like Everybody Loves Raymond. He always puts his foot in his mouth when it comes to his marriage. His parents live across the street, and his brother is envies him to no end. Um, it's hysterical. It went on for 9 seasons. Like a lot of these shows, man. 2.5 Men went on for 12. Some people would say 3 or 4 too many. Um, Cheers went on for 11. Raymond went on for 9. And it's like I said, it's hilarious, man. And like I think only Patricia Heaton, Raymond's wife in the show, has found like secondary or future sitcom success. That's another one I want to check out. The Middle. I want to watch The Middle only because it takes place in Indiana. Like I said, like Ray's the star and his family are the side characters, and they're great. So I think a few of them got nominated for Emmys. And then again, he's a sports writer, so athletes would guest star, different guys would guest star. Kevin James, before the King of Queens started, would guest star. At number 7, another one that my wife might be a little upset that it's this low, but The Big Bang Theory. It's kind of popular to hate on The Big Bang Theory, and I don't know why. I think people just watch one episode or watch a commercial and just, oh, I don't like these characters. They're nerds. They're smart. They're scientists. They're geniuses. I wouldn't be entertained by this. No, like Penny, Kaylee Cuoco, she's the eyes of the average person into this world, and the way that she plays off the smarter guys, the nerdy guys, the uncomfortable around attractive females guys is gold, man. And this is another show. It literally just started season 11. I just saw the premiere the other day, and it's hilarious. And then the spinoff, I'm going to mention the spinoff, Young Sheldon, is about Jim Parsons' character, Sheldon Cooper, when he was a little kid. And I'm assuming it's going to be just his environment and what made him to be the socially awkward genius that he becomes in The Big Bang Theory. At number 6, I got Frasier, the most successful sitcom spinoff of all time. Frasier, played by Kelsey Grammer, was a character on Cheers. He got his own show, and it went for 11 seasons. And people want to snark and hate, make comments about Frasier, but Frasier, in my opinion, was The Big Bang Theory before The Big Bang Theory. Frasier is a radio psychiatrist. His younger brother, is also a psychiatrist. They bicker back and forth all the time. They're always in competition with each other. Frasier's dad lives with him. He's got a ugly recliner. He's got his dog with him, and just the different situations that he gets into. 11 seasons, 200 plus episodes. It's so funny. I mean, if you haven't seen it, man, you don't have to watch Cheers to like Frasier. It would help, because sometimes there are guest stars or references to characters from Cheers. It would help if you were up on the Cheers world, because within the first couple of episodes, it gets explained that he uprooted from Boston to move back to Seattle, and that's dope too. Like, not a lot of shows take place in Seattle, so I like when, like I said, The Middle. Like, not a lot of shows take place in Indiana. Like, not every show has to take place in New York or L.A., Miami, Texas. It's cool when lesser known or less popular areas get a little shine on TV. And next, the show that I wanted to watch to do the video is Martin. Martin might be is in the debate for the funniest show in this video. 'Cause he's always roasting Pam. Like, their back and forth is so funny. It's either she looks like an animal, her breath, or he's short, his ears. And then the guest star, like the Notorious B.I.G., man, Biggie was on Martin. That is cold in itself. Kid from Kid and Play, and then he plays like Martin Lawrence plays like 90 characters throughout 5 seasons. Um, every time he gets butt hurt, man, y'all got to step. And he always kicking somebody out his house. And then Martin and Gina, man, so many rappers talk about wanting that Martin and Gina love. Their relationship, yeah, like that's something that a couple should strive for. But the last season, while still funny, Gina not being in the last half of the last season was noticeable and was kind of awkward. And then when she would be in the episode, it would come off a little weird. But yeah, Martin is funny as hell. At number 4, I got The Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Um, Classic, man, like one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil, for real. Like Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air really always wants me to see Will Smith do more straight comedies. I don't like. I can't remember the last time Will Smith did an actual comedy, not an action comedy, not a whatever kind of mashup genre comedy. And I want to say Hitch, but you could call that a romantic comedy. Um, yeah, because I mean, what he did Pursuit of Happiness, he did I Am Legend, he did 7 Pounds, Chill for a little bit, did Men in Black 3. That could be considered an action comedy though. Sci-fi action comedy at that. Like my favorite, I got a Will Smith video my on my on my channel somewhere. You might have to dig for it. But yeah, like my favorite Will Smith movie of all time is Men in Black. Um, but then like Will Smith from the hood, from West Philly. Y'all know the theme song. Yo, like I low key hate Carlton in the early seasons. Like he got that pompous I'm better than you because I grew up rich. I grew up entitled and privileged, and Will Smith had to earn everything. And then when he would invite like Don Cheadle or somebody from the hood, D.L. Hughley, it would always be a culture shock to them. And in the episode where Carlton had to go to the hood and Aunt Viv wasn't having it, and Logic says, what do you say, scenes change, word to Aunt Viv. But I always took early Aunt Viv. I always took seasons 1 through 3 Aunt Viv as like the West Philly hood, no holds barred Aunt Viv, and then season 4 through 6 Aunt Viv was more sophisticated and refined. And then Ashley, like I grew up crushing on Ashley and Hillary. And then Hillary was always that obvious character. There was shows throughout the 90s that had that character. In Martin, it was Cole. In Friends, it was Joey, sometimes Phoebe. And like once again, the side characters, man, you love the side characters. Uncle Phil would always get Will out of a jam. But then there would be stories that focus on Carlton, focus on Ashley, focus on Jeffrey Butler. He embarrassed his country or whatever at the Olympics. And then Fresh Prince would hit you with the feels, man. Like there was the episode, everybody know what I'm talking about. The episode of Fresh Prince where his dad came through and then ditched him again. That hits me, man. I tear up every time I see that episode. And there's one or two more. The last episode gets me too. It's the finale of a great show. Um, the one I almost forgot. I wanted to talk about this episode before I forgot to do it, and I was mad at myself during editing, and I forgot the episode where Will gets shot, and Carlton had the gun. Just Will Smith showing his dramatic chops. Give me the gun, Carlton. He said, "Give me the gun. You owe me." Yeah. Fresh Prince is so great. I think even when Uncle Phil has the heart attack, Carlton don't want to go visit him. He said, because they're going back and forth. He said, "I'm gonna drag you down to that hospital." So I don't want to see my dad with tubes up his nose. He said, everybody's dad goes through it. He said, "Not my dad. Everybody's dad except mine." Yeah, man. Well, Fresh Prince hits you with the feels, man. So I'm gonna move on before I actually tear up recording. My number 3 is How I Met Your Mother. 9 seasons long. Probably the most underrated show on this list. Because I know I watched it, and a lot of people watched it, but I don't feel like it got the recognition and the praise as a lot of these shows. the storytelling is by far the most creative. You got old Ted, voiced by Bob Saget, explaining to his kids in 2030 how he met their mother. It's the longest story ever. I mean, he goes through the different situations: Jason Segel, Allison Hannigan, Kobe Smulders, Neil Patrick Harris, and young Ted is played by Josh Radnor. And he just all these different dates, all the different chicks that he had to figure out wasn't the right one before he met the mother in the very last season. It's hilarious. Neil Patrick Harris makes this show. Barney Stinson is one of the greatest TV characters ever. And just the cast chemistry, man. The cast chemistry is amazing. They're all so funny. And they all get into like the most ridiculous situations to the point where like it's not even like realistic. If you're invested in the show, you don't care. You go along with whatever the plot is. And there were some dope guest stars in this show too, man. I think Britney Spears, Katy Perry, Wayne Brady. Oh, I'm blanking hard. James Vanderbeek, Alan Thicke. Ted is from Cleveland, so they make a lot of Cavs, LeBron jokes, Browns jokes. Barney and his his bro code. It references past seasons the way that you wouldn't expect it to. Yeah, but I can watch How I Met Your Mother numerous times. I've probably been through. I know obviously I've seen the whole series at least once. If I catch repeats on, I'll just turn it on and let the TV go. On to number two. My number two is Friends, and I love Friends, man. Like I've been all the way through Friends, all 10 seasons, at least 3 times, not counting the reruns that I put on TV with that show either. And I mean, this show, man, Alec Baldwin, Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt, man, this show, George Clooney, this show had guest stars. Cemented Jennifer Aniston is one of the most beautiful women in the world, in my opinion. This again cast chemistry. Like the way that from episode 1 to episode 200 and whatever, they all played off each other. You believe that they're all friends. Ross, Chandler, Joey, Monica, Rachel, Phoebe, all of them. If I had to have a problem with Friends, it would just be like continuity. In season 2, they could be like 27-ish. And then in season 5, they could be 30-ish. But then in season 8, they would still be 30-ish. Or that's just a hypothetical, just an example. That's not literally how they do it, but their ages don't match up according to 10 years. They don't age 1 year for every season. But I mean, Friends is iconic, man. Everybody knows about Friends. Everybody also knows about my number one, man. And my number one is the show about nothing. My number one is Seinfeld, man. Seinfeld is so dope that Wale made 2 mixtapes based around the show and an album. And the mixtape about nothing is actually what put me on to Wale. And Seinfeld is so relatable, man. Every single episode, again, 9 seasons, and you can damn near relate to every single situation. They get like there's an episode that they just spend in a parking garage looking for the car because they can't remember where they parked. Or there's another episode where they're waiting for a table and it takes forever, and people walk in the restaurant, get a table, they've been there for 20 minutes and are still waiting. It's just everyday things like that. Like I love Seinfeld. Like I can watch Seinfeld endlessly. It's hilarious. I think they had a reunion episode on Curb Your Enthusiasm. I haven't seen it. If Curb Your Enthusiasm is like Seinfeld on crack or Seinfeld to the max, I think I want to go back and eventually watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. And then they have the bet where they see who can like hold out without having sex the longest, or basically getting off. And then they're the reverse where like George, down on his luck, woe is me, nothing goes right, George, and top of the world, cloud 9, Elaine. They switch. They do it's called the opposite. And every episode, I think, except like the very second one, starts with the something. Just like Friends is the one with something. Yeah, and again, side characters, man, because like Jerry's the man, George, Elaine, Kramer, they're the side characters. Their parents are funny. The Newman, the mailman, funny. The dates. I think Courtney Cox from Friends was a date. Terry Hatcher was a date. The wife from Breaking Bad, they all dated Jerry. Sarah Silverman dated Kramer. Elaine dated Saul from Breaking Bad, from Better Call Saul. Like guest stars, man. Early '90s guest stars are huge today. It's crazy. Walter White played the dentist in Seinfeld. Seinfeld is epic. I love Seinfeld. Again, if I can get a few more shows under my belt, I might update this list in a couple years. But what are your favorite sitcoms, man? Like me myself, I wanted to regulate my standards for the list to ABC, Fox, CBS, NBC, basic cable 30-minute sitcoms, classics. And then there are shows like I've tried to get into Matthew Perry's new stuff since Friends. I think Mr. Sunshine was okay. I watched The Odd Couple and it got canceled. They did 3 seasons of that. That was fine. It's new shows today. Marlon, The Carmichael Show. The stars are great. The side characters are okay. They're not entertaining enough to keep you invested. That's the problem with a lot of sitcoms today. What are your favorite sitcoms, man? I would like a list of 10, but whatever you can do, man. Your favorite overall, 3, 5, 10, whatever. Just throw something out there. Any recommendations? I didn't have as many shows to choose from as I would have liked. I'm happy with my list, but also I would like to see more to see if anything could get bumped, squeezed in, rearranged, whatever. I've recently posted reviews for Kingsman, for the Lego Ninjago movie. Check those out. Other September reviews. I have no October movie talk idea. You got ideas? Spit it out. I did something horror movie related last October. Next weekend, I want to watch Blade Runner. The weekend after that, The Foreigner, Marshall, and Happy Death Day all come out. Depending on what my theater gets is what I'll watch. Be on the lookout. And I'm going to try something different with my NBA preview this month. So like, subscribe, comment. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me? Watch these credits. Peace.